What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be talking about the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Las Vegas Raiders are a very interesting team to look at, especially with their free agent moves. It just seems like, honestly, what are they doing? So after releasing Derek Carr, I thought the Raiders were gonna go into a rebuild. I'm like, okay, Carr is out. Maybe it's time to bring in a new QB, a rookie QB, and build around him, give him some pretty decent weapons, and upgrade that defense. But little did I know the Las Vegas Raiders signed Jimmy Garoppolo to a 3-year deal, worth a pretty good amount of money. I don't know the exact specifics, but it was a pretty good amount of money, like the amount of money where he's basically going to start. Okay, like we're good. They're for sure gonna use him, man, because they kind of paid him a lot of money. And not only that, they also signed 2 receivers, Philip Dorsett's, and just basically 2 New England Patriots receivers because of their familiarity. I can never say that word, with Mike McDaniels, and I don't have a problem with that. I think those 2 receivers are nice. Definitely could complement. Devontae Adams really good. Jacoby Myers, I think that's one of the receivers' names. He could definitely do good. And Philip Dorsett is like a 3rd string. And then they signed a little bit of defenders. I think they signed Marcus Epps from the Eagles, which is pretty decent. But honestly, I would love the Raiders to go after like a Jesse Bates or anything like that. I feel like that would be so much better for the Las Vegas Raiders. But still, it's like, what are the Raiders doing? That's honestly the big question I have with this football team and what I have with this franchise. Like, what are they doing? Are they rebuilding? Are they trying to play to win now? I just don't know. I think signing Jimmy G was a decent signing. Like, I don't think its signing is bad, but at the same time, it's like I'd rather have Garoppolo be a bridge quarterback where he starts behind and then they draft the quarterback this draft, and then basically Jimmy Garoppolo starts for the full year or something like that, and the QB could develop, with Jimmy Garoppolo at the helm, because Jimmy Garoppolo is not a bad quarterback. He's won a lot of great games. He's been to the Super Bowl. He has a lot of playoff experience, so I feel like Jimmy Garoppolo could definitely teach a younger quarterback how to play football, how to be calm in games, because Jimmy G is that. Jimmy G is always calm in games, good time management, and just mostly good. I know he had that one drive in the Super Bowl where he kind of choked and kind of shit the bed, but he's still a good quarterback in my opinion. I think Jimmy G is still a good quarterback. He isn't like great or flashy or absolute insane. The talent really isn't like levels high, but he is a great quarterback that could fit in a good system that could go crazy. You saw what he did in San Francisco before he dealt with all his injuries. But yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo, as I said, decent quarterback, and I would love to see the Raiders take a quarterback this draft. But I don't know what they're going to do. They could probably get a cornerback, something on defense. I think something on defense would be good as well, because the Raiders' defense, other than like Max Crosby, is not that great. Chandler Jones kind of had a bad year, and most of their corners, honestly, all I can name is like Rocky Ya-Sin. That's it. And I think he's a free agent right now. So there is a lot of question marks with this team. I do think that the offense is good for the Raiders. I know they did trade Darren Waller, which in my opinion was kind of a bad trade because, trading for a 3rd-round pick, I don't know. But supposedly they had Coach Josh McDaniels and Darren Waller had like some beef, I guess. So that's kind of the reason why he got traded. But still, trading only for like a 3rd-round pick, I think that's crazy. I really do think that. I know Darren Waller has been kind of injured these past 2 years, but I still think he's a great quarterback, and I still think that he could take elevate that Raiders offense. And that O-line too. That O-line definitely needs a little bit of help, but still, it's solid. Like, again, the Raiders are not doing bad signings, but it's just so mediocre. And I think that's what this team is going to be this year, just a mediocre team. I see people like looking at a reaction. People are saying like 5 wins. People saying that this is the worst signing of all time. I definitely don't think it's bad. I just think it's very mid. Like signing Jimmy Garoppolo and doing all that things. I feel like the Raiders are having a really, really mid offseason and just kind of like settling. You know what I mean? They're not really like going after it, because if they were really like going after it, going crazy, they would have signed talents like Jesse Bates. They would have honestly drafted a quarterback, maybe trade up and draft a quarterback this offseason. I don't know. I just don't know what the Raiders are doing. That's the big thing. I just don't know. It's like they show signs of rebuilding, but they're also showing signs of win now. So we'll see what happens. I really don't think that Josh McDaniels is going to be there for another 2 years. I think he's probably going to ride out this year, and then he's probably going to get fired, in my opinion. We'll see, though, because, as I said, Josh McDaniels probably did have a word in getting like Jimmy Garoppolo and Philip Dorsett and Jacoby Myers. He for sure had a word in there because they used to obviously all be with each other. But yeah, I'm looking at the Raiders page right now, and it looks like they also signed another cornerback in Brandon Faison. So it looks like they are upgrading their defense just a little bit, but I really don't think it's enough to take them to that next level. The biggest thing with the Raiders last year, obviously, was, unless the Derek Carr turnovers, was just the defense. The defense wasn't really that good. But who knows? Maybe Chandler Jones has a career revive season, and Max Crosby. We all know how good Max Crosby is. So I have faith in Max Crosby. But other than that, it's like the defense not looking so great. A lot of Raiders defenders left. I think Denzel Perryman's leaving. I'm pretty sure, or something like that. I saw something like that somewhere. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel about the Las Vegas Raiders down in the comment section. Do you guys think the Las Vegas Raiders are a team that could definitely compete, are going to be a good team, or do you guys think they're going to be middle of the pack, mid? I think they're going to be very mid, especially with how beast that division is. I feel like the Raiders should tank, to be honest. They should have not got Jimmy G, and they should have just tanked to get maybe get Caleb Williams for next year's draft. But that division is way too good for the Raiders. It's way too good. You play the Chiefs twice, Patrick Mahomes. That's already tough enough. And now you're playing a Sean Payton-led Denver Broncos team that made big free agent signings, and also playing the Los Angeles Chargers, which is a pretty good team. I mean, Justin Herbert is a really great quarterback. I know Austin Eckler is going to requested a trade. I think it's pretty crazy. But yeah, there's just so much free agency news I can't really talk about in every video and stuff like that. Obviously, I want to talk about, mostly my team, the Arizona Cardinals, but I also want to talk about a few other teams as well, because I think other team situations are very interesting, like the Las Vegas Raiders here. I think they are in a very interesting position, but we just got to see what they do, man, like how they do this year. I feel like they're going to have a very mid-season, especially with playing those great teams, and I feel like they could maybe get 7-8 wins. That's my opinion. They're probably going to be like 8-9 or 7-10, or even I could see them maybe getting 9-8, missing the playoffs, but I really do not see the Las Vegas Raiders making the playoffs. Is my opinion. I just don't see it. I mean, if somehow they have like a fluke year and they go crazy, have some itinerary story, that's the only way I can see it. But other than that, it's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. See ya.